You don't become what you want. You become what you tolerate. Everyone wants success. Everyone dreams of a better future. Everyone talks about goals, about vision, about dreams. But the truth most people never hear is this. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. Your standards decide who you become. Think about it. Your health is not determined by what you wish for. It's determined by the standard you set for yourself. Do you accept junk food, laziness, and excuses? Or do you demand discipline, movement, and self-care? Your finances are not determined by what you hope for. They're determined by the standard you hold. Do you tolerate being broke, wasting money, avoiding responsibility? Or do you demand savings, investments, and growth? Your relationships are not determined by what you dream of. They're determined by what you tolerate. Do you accept disrespect, dishonesty, and weak effort? Or do you demand respect, honesty, and growth? It always comes back to standards. Let me make it plain. You don't get what you want. You don't even get what you deserve. You get what you're willing to tolerate. If you tolerate weakness, you will become weak. If you tolerate laziness, you will become lazy. If you tolerate mediocrity, you will become mediocre. But if you raise your standards, everything changes. Tony Robbins once said, "The difference between people is their standards. The higher the standards, the better the life." It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's standards. Because your standards decide your actions, and your actions decide your future. Most people have dreams that are higher than their standards. They dream of success, but they tolerate excuses. They dream of health, but they tolerate laziness. They dream of love, but they tolerate disrespect. And they wonder why nothing changes. The truth is simple. Your life rises or falls to the level of your standards. Now, what are your standards right now? What do you tolerate? What do you accept, even though it hurts you? What do you allow, even though you know it's beneath you? Be honest, because the answer will reveal who you're becoming. Here's an example. Two people set a goal to run a marathon. One has a standard. I'll train every day, no matter what. The other has a standard. I'll train when I feel like it. Same goal, different standards, different results. Because it's not the dream that shapes the outcome, it's the standard. Another example. Two people start businesses. Both want success, but one has a standard. I won't stop until I make it work. The other has a standard. I'll try, but if it gets hard, I'll quit. Same dream, different standards, different futures. Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And habits are born from standards. Your standard is the minimum you demand from yourself. And if that minimum is low, your life will stay low. Here's the danger. Low standards feel normal. You get used to them. You tell yourself, "This is just who I am." You excuse them. Everyone else is doing it. You defend them. It's not that bad. And without realizing it, your standards trap you in a cycle of mediocrity. Your standards are not fixed. You can raise them. You can decide that what you've been tolerating is no longer acceptable. You can demand more from yourself. And when you do, your life will rise. Let me show you how this works in real life. Michael Jordan didn't just want to be good at basketball. He had a standard, excellence. He refused to tolerate laziness. He refused to accept average effort. His standard was greatness, and his career reflected it. Steve Jobs didn't just want to build products. He had a standard, innovation at the highest level. He refused to release anything that didn't meet it. His standard shaped Apple and the world. These weren't just dreams. They were standards. And standards create legacies. So here's the question for you. What are you tolerating right now that's keeping you small? Maybe it's weak habits. Maybe it's toxic relationships. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe it's excuses. Whatever it is, that's your standard. And until you change it, nothing else will change. You don't become what you want. You become what you tolerate. Your dreams don't shape your destiny. Your standards do. Raise them, and your future rises. Lower them, and your future falls. So ask yourself, what are your standards? Because they are deciding who you're becoming. Low standards don't just keep you stuck. They slowly destroy your future. Every weakness in your life can be traced back to one thing: low standards. Low standards in health create sickness. Low standards in money create debt. Low standards in relationships create heartbreak. Low standards in discipline create regret. Every area of weakness is proof that you've been tolerating less than you should. Let's talk about health. When you accept late nights, junk food, and skipping workouts, you set a low standard, and your body responds. You get tired. You get weak. You get sick. Then you say, that's just how life is. But it's not life. It's your standards. Now let's talk about money. When you accept living paycheck to paycheck, when you avoid saving, when you refuse to learn about investing, you set a low standard. And your bank account shows it. You feel pressure every month. You feel fear every bill cycle. You live in survival mode instead of freedom. Not because money hates you, but because your standards betrayed you. Now let's talk about relationships. When you accept disrespect, dishonesty, and half-effort, you set a low standard. And the result is predictable. You get hurt. You get drained. You feel unloved and unseen. People treat you according to the standard you allow. If you accept less, they will give you less. If you demand more, they will rise or disappear. Either way, your standard decides. Now let's talk about discipline. When you accept excuses, when you allow laziness, when you tell yourself, tomorrow, you set a low standard. And tomorrow never comes. Days slip into weeks. Weeks slip into months. And before you know it, years are gone. Not because you lacked opportunity, not because you lacked talent, but because your standards were too low. Here's the dangerous part. Low standards feel easy in the moment, but expensive in the long run. Skipping the workout feels easy until sickness shows up. Spending instead of saving feels easy until debt crushes you. Tolerating weak relationships feels easy until your heart breaks. Excusing laziness feels easy until regret suffocates you. Low standards cost more than you realize. Jim Rohn once said, "Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons." Low standards guarantee regret, because when you tolerate weakness, you destroy strength. When you tolerate mediocrity, you kill greatness. When you tolerate excuses, you lose opportunities. And here's the worst cost: identity. Your standards shape who you are becoming. When you accept low standards long enough, you start to believe that's all you deserve. You identify with mediocrity. You tell yourself, this is just who I am. And you shrink your life to fit the lie. But it's not who you are. It's what you've been tolerating. Think about the times you let something slide. Maybe it was a workout you skipped. Maybe it was a project you delayed. Maybe it was a boundary you didn't enforce. At first, it felt small. But over time, those little compromises became habits. And those habits became your identity. That's the silent cost of low standards. You become someone smaller than you were meant to be. Here's another truth. Low standards are contagious. Your children watch what you tolerate. Your friends copy what you accept. Your partner reflects what you demand. When you live with low standards, you don't just shrink your life. You shrink theirs too. Let me be real. If your standard is, I'll just get by, you will never rise. If your standard is, I'll try when I feel like it, you will never succeed. If your standard is, I'll accept whatever people give me, you will always be disappointed. Because the universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you demand. Les Brown said, You must be willing to do the things today others won't do, in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. That's a standard, and if you refuse to raise it, you refuse to rise. Low standards cost you health. They cost you money. They cost you relationships. They cost you discipline. And worst of all, they cost you identity. Because every time you accept less than you should, you shrink who you are. And the longer you tolerate it, the more regret you build. So ask yourself, how much longer are you willing to pay the price of low standards? Your life will only rise when you decide your old standards are no longer acceptable. By now, you understand the truth. Your standards shape your health. Your standards shape your finances. Your standards shape your relationships. Your standards shape your destiny. If your standards are low, your results will be low. If your standards are high, your results will rise. So the question is, how do you raise your standards? Here's the first step. Draw the line. Every change begins with a decision. You have to decide what you will no longer accept. You have to say, no more excuses. No more laziness. No more disrespect. No more weakness. This is where you draw the line between the old you and the new you. The second step, set clear rules for yourself. Standards are not vague. They are specific. I'll try to eat healthier is not a standard. I will not put fast food in my body again is a standard. I'll try to work out more is not a standard. I will train 4 days a week, no matter what, is a standard. I'll try to save money is not a standard. I will save 20% of every paycheck, no matter what, is a standard. Your standards must be clear, non-negotiable rules you live by. The third step, create accountability. It's easy to lower your standards when no one is watching. That's why accountability matters. Tell someone your new standard. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Track it daily. Because when you raise your standards, your environment must rise with you. The fourth step, build discipline. Raising your standards isn't about motivation, it's about discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Discipline means you act even when you don't feel like it. Discipline means your standards remain the same on hard days and easy days. Discipline means your word to yourself is unbreakable. That's how you lock in new standards until they become who you are. The fifth step, protect your boundaries. When you raise your standards, people will test them. Some will call you arrogant. Some will call you too strict. Some will try to pull you back to who you used to be. You have to protect your boundaries. You have to say no. You have to cut off what no longer serves your new standards. Because if you don't protect them, you'll fall back into the old patterns. The sixth step, surround yourself with higher standards. Your environment is everything. If you surround yourself with people who accept mediocrity, you'll slide back into mediocrity. But if you surround yourself with people who demand greatness, you'll rise. So upgrade your circle. Find people who push you. Find people who challenge you. Find people whose standards inspire you. Because who you spend time with will always raise or lower your standards. The seventh step, link your standards to your identity. This is powerful. Stop saying, I want to be healthy. Start saying, I don't miss workouts. I am an athlete. Stop saying, I'll try to save money. Start saying, I don't waste money. I am disciplined with my finances. Stop saying, I want to be confident. Start saying, I don't tolerate disrespect. I am a person of value. When your standards become part of your identity, they stick. The eighth step, raise them again. Don't stop at one level. Keep raising. Keep pushing. Keep demanding more from yourself. Because growth has no ceiling. And every time you raise your standards, your life rises with them. You are not defined by your goals. You are not defined by your wishes. You are defined by your standards. Raise them, and everything about you will rise. Jim Rohn once said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." That's what raising your standards is. It's becoming better. Not waiting for the world to change. Not waiting for luck. Not waiting for opportunity. Becoming better because your standards demand it. Raising your standards means drawing the line, setting clear rules, building discipline, protecting your boundaries, and linking your standards to your identity. It means refusing to accept less than your future requires. It means refusing to tolerate what weakens you. It means demanding the best from yourself every single day. Because your standards don't just shape what you do, they shape who you become. Your standards are not just rules, they are your identity. We've exposed the truth. You don't become what you want, you become what you tolerate. Low standards keep you stuck. High standards set you free. We've talked about the cost of low standards: health lost, money wasted, relationships broken, destiny destroyed. We've talked about raising your standards, drawing the line, setting rules, building discipline, creating boundaries. Now it's time for the call to action. Because none of this matters unless you decide. Unless you draw the line today and say, "This is who I am now. This is my standard. This is my identity." Your standards are not suggestions. They are not wishes. They are not hopes. They are who you are. If your standard is excellence, then excellence is who you are. If your standard is discipline, then discipline is who you are. If your standard is integrity, then integrity is who you are. Your standards create your identity, and your identity shapes your destiny. So here's the challenge. Become your standards. Stop tolerating what weakens you. Stop accepting what insults your potential. Stop lowering yourself to fit into places you've outgrown. Decide today that your standards are non-negotiable, that you will live by them no matter what, that you will defend them no matter who leaves, that you will honor them no matter how hard it gets. Les Brown once said, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." That's the mindset of raised standards. Not aiming for average, not aiming for safe, aiming for greatness, even if it stretches you beyond what you think you can handle. Because when your standards rise, your future rises with them. Here's what you need to understand. People with low standards wait for opportunities. People with high standards create opportunities. People with low standards accept disrespect. People with high standards command respect. People with low standards live in survival. People with high standards thrive. Which one will you be? Your family is watching your standards. Your children are copying your standards. Your friends are influenced by your standards. You are shaping lives around you, not with your words, but with what you tolerate. So when you raise your standards, you don't just rise alone, you pull others with you. The world doesn't need more people with low standards. It doesn't need more mediocrity. It doesn't need more excuses. It needs people who demand more of themselves. People who refuse to shrink. People who choose discipline, excellence, and courage. The world needs people who become their standards. Here's the decision before you. You can keep tolerating weakness. You can keep lowering yourself. You can keep excusing mediocrity. Or you can rise. You can raise the bar. You can demand more. You can become the person your future requires. Your standards decide who you become. So stop tolerating weakness. Stop accepting excuses. Stop lowering yourself to fit in. Raise the bar. Set the line. Demand more. Because your standards are your identity. And when you raise them, your destiny will rise with them. Become your standards, and you'll become unstoppable. If this message is speaking to you, don't forget to subscribe to The Balanced Beat for more life-changing wisdom and powerful motivation. Hit that like button to support the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. We're building something meaningful here, and your support means everything.